I'm John Borowski, and you're on the hook. In this webcast, we're going to be looking into the future of towing, and I mean immediate future. I'd like to talk to you about several different topics right now. I understand the towing industry right now is in a bad way. Towers are not making the money they should be. It's harder and harder to find staffing. It's harder and harder to find a new tow truck, and when you do, they're more money. Have you raised your rates? I hope you did. Everybody else has. For everything, not only towing, restaurants. They've had to raise their rates, and there's still many of them falling apart. Many that don't want to change their prices. They don't think they should. They've had lifelong customers. I have local restaurants that have been around 5 decades that all of a sudden one day, gone. And nobody there to buy it. I couldn't believe it, but that's the way it is. They didn't enter their industry, their business, with a background in any kind of accounting, just like us. I mean, most of us in the towing industry have come through attrition. You're a second, third, fourth generation tower. Not many people have learned accounting and actually be able to derive what a tow costs. Unfortunately, I can still ask that question out there, and I've been doing it for years. I feel very confident in saying that at least 90% of the industry out there cannot tell you right now what a tow costs. Right up until last year, doing seminars, I would ask that question, and I'd have a full room, and I've had 2 or 3 hands pop up that would say they know what their cost is. And that's because of they're using some sort of software program that it makes it a lot easier to figure out. But you can't, how do you sell something, a service, that you don't know what it costs? You find out at the end of the week when you can't pay your bills or you can't carry payroll and you can't pay yourself. And if you do, you don't pay yourself a full rate as you should. If you ever added up the hours that you spend working during the day, the amount of holidays that you work, the time you don't have with your family, the nighttime dispatching, just everything in general, you would be astounded. You're better off going to McDonald's and flipping burgers. It's terrible. And the big thing here is, I use the restaurant comparison. You might be disrupting a few families of going out to eat to their favorite restaurant. But in the case of you, the tower, you guys make America roll. And when all of a sudden you're not there, the country will be gridlocked. Now, I understand all your costs have gone up dramatically. Fuel, the cost of equipment, insurance, and in many cases, staff. You're short staff, and the staff you do have, you probably had to pay more money. There was a lot of things that happened that this administration have caused, and I'm not going to pull any punches on that. This administration has destroyed a lot of things that are going on right now and continues to do it. I mean, I can't wait for November to see what happens. But all I got to say is you, the tower, have got to make some changes in your life. You've got to start changing your price. You got to find out what your costs are. Then you've got to turn around and you've got to have some kind of a benefits program to keep your staff with you, along with a good pay that they can feed their family on. Towing should not be a stepping stone job. You can make it a career. But the way things are right now, you won't keep anybody. You'd be lucky if you had any of your old timers still left. They're probably retiring and going, well, if they can retire, because again, they really didn't save for this either. The industry is at an odd time. Towing associations, I ain't got to tell you, they're in tough shape. And without them, the towing industry is really in trouble. They perform a very, very valuable service in keeping bad legislation gone and instituting good legislation to protect you, the tower, and to protect your wallet. We need them. National, local, I shouldn't say local, state associations and the national associations are very important, and they need to be around. With this influx of alternative fuel vehicles coming in, I have developed an alternative fuel training course as to how to tow, recover, handle, and store those vehicles. Now, you'd be surprised. I was shocked with the things that I learned. You have to prepare for those vehicles. There's extra handling, and you got to watch how you handle them. One wrong move, the electric vehicles are 800 volts. Your employee is dead, just like that. There's nothing to talk about. You need to prepare for that. You need to understand how to structure your business in such a way that you have a company policy handbook, an employee handbook, profitable tows, understand where your costs are, how to handle electric vehicles. You'll be able to get all that information by going to the Las Vegas show. I'm giving my very first electric vehicle, I should say, alternative fuel vehicle. It covers 7 different types of vehicles because there's more than that out there. Did you know that? I'll bet you didn't, because I didn't. But anyway, I'll see you there. You need to learn all this if you want to survive. If not, start looking for another place to go. I can tell you who might be interested in buying your company. Some of the consolidators are out there. There is another consolidation effort coming. I've talked to several finance people that are talking about it already and asked a lot of questions, and it's coming again. You know, the last effort was back in '97. That's when I sold my company. I probably should have hung around. I probably should not have sold my company. But the long and short of it is, I'm here now, and I've had a good life doing what I'm doing, and now I'm trying to help you avoid some of the pitfalls that I had, or the potholes, as you call it, as you go down that highway of life. We need to learn. We need to operate better. We don't need to just keep inserting a professional tower. We are professionals. Act like one. Let's act the part, look the part, charge the part. Insurance companies do it on a regular basis. What do they do when they don't have enough money this year? They charge more next year. When's the last time you adjusted your rates? Let's talk about that in Vegas. Until then, everybody be safe out there. I'll see you next time.